Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Look, I said I ain't really got no time for lunch date, but before the show I hit you like a lunch plate. Baby, look so good, got me hard like.
What's up, guys? Today I'm bringing you a video about my F-150. It's not just about my F-150, but it's about every single F-150 that's this body style. So 2015 to 17, and then 18 to 19, or are they changing it in 20? They changed it to 21, so really 15 to 20, 15 to 21. This is going to be for all of those trucks. It's actually for my exhaust. I'm gonna give you guys a review on the MBRP exhaust. This is the cheapest exhaust when I purchased. The cheapest exhaust that you could buy for an F-150 that just bolts right up. No cutting needed. The only cut you have to make is to adjust it to the length of your truck, depending on your wheelbase size. So depending on single cab, long bed, or crew cab, super crew, short bed, long bed, depending on your exact truck, you have to cut it to fit, but it's not hard, very easy. Sawzall, cutting blade, doesn't matter. As long as you have a way to cut it, then you're good. So I'm gonna crawl underneath the truck, let you guys take a look at it. This was the cheapest one. They offer two versions. There's one that's just an aluminized steel, and then one that's aluminized steel that they paint black. However, it was like an extra 50 bucks. So I ran down to AutoZone and bought some just cheap header paint. It was like 10 bucks for cut 2 cans or something. I can't remember. It wasn't much. Cheaper to do it myself than to pay them to do it. So I'll show you guys that, show you how it's held up. It's almost 2 years old now. It's probably 2 years old by now. So you'll get to see how it looks and everything. Aluminized steel does still rust. It does not hold up very well in salty conditions. So if you're somewhere up north, somewhere near the sea, you might want to steer clear of this exhaust. Just a fair warning. But you'll get to see how mine's doing after 2 years. I live here in Georgia, so not much salt or anything. This truck's actually only seen snow once, and we don't get a lot of snow, and I think only like 2 or 3 of the roads I drove on were salted. So this truck's not seen very much snow or salt at all. It has been to the beach a few times, so it's seen, the salty air and stuff there, but nothing like what you would see if you live on the beach or if you live up north. So keep that in mind. But I'm gonna go ahead, crawl under, and give you all a look at the exhaust. All right, so here's the exhaust. It starts at that clamp right there, and it goes back. So everything in front of that is factory. Everything behind that is the exhaust that I bought. You can see that a lot of the paint has worn away that I applied on the bottom. It does not appear that there's any rust, really. Plenty of dirt from the trails and stuff, but nothing major. There's rust along these welds, and there's a little bit of surface rust on the muffler itself, but nothing terrible, nothing to be concerned about, I would say. You can see right there clearly where the paint is just completely gone. You can see the exhaust is actually held up pretty well. There's some little scrapes and stuff from hitting it while off-roading. That is one thing you do have to be worried about, is when you're off-roading, it could potentially hit something and get destroyed. So always be aware of that. I don't do extensive amounts of off-roading, and I don't hit too crazy of trails, but that is always something to keep in mind with a side exit exhaust like this one. But as you can see, nothing terrible. The exhaust really is a bit of a pain in the butt. This hanger up here has come off multiple times. I don't know why it keeps on doing that, but it does. I think I just end up hitting something and it moves the exhaust enough to where it comes off. This one in here though, no problems. So that stays connected, that's nice. The instructions that this comes with for install are not that amazing, but they're doable. It's not a terrible install. But there's the look at the exhaust itself. Like I said, it's a not the best exhaust, but it's the cheapest exhaust. It's a single in, 2 out muffler. The muffler sits at a slight angle. Alright, let's go ahead and crawl back out from underneath, and I'll talk a little bit more about this. Before I start talking about it, I'll go ahead and tell you I will do a startup, a little bit of a rev for you. I haven't started my truck all day, so it will be a nice cold start, so you'll get to hear what it sounds like on a cold start. It is still pretty loud just from the way that they have it tuned from the factory. The way they start car motors is it does rev up pretty high, so you will hear a pretty high rev at the start, but I'll give it a few seconds to warm up and then give you a couple little pumps on the pedal so you guys can hear it. I will tell you this, the exhaust is extremely loud. It is certainly more than enough to wake the neighbors. I'm sure my neighbor over here, I'm sure he gets plenty of it. I wake up for work at 4 a.m. in the morning, so I'm sure he hears it. It's not as loud as my G8 when it starts, but it is louder than my G8 pretty much the rest of the time. It's not louder when I'm at full throttle. My G8's just crazy loud. It's ridiculous, but this is still loud. In my opinion, it does not sound that good wide open. It sounds great at idle. It sounds great medium acceleration up to about 2,000, 3,000 RPM. After that, I think it sounds terrible, honestly. I've been wanting to change this exhaust for a while just because it's not my preferred taste. I like the loud scream of my G8, so that's what I want out of my truck. I'll do that one day. The exhaust doesn't terribly annoy me. The one thing that I do absolutely hate about this exhaust is the driving noise. Now, cruising down the highway, there's no drone, there's nothing like that, so the drone is not what I'm complaining about. It is how loud it is. The noise on the highway is constant. If you're going over 40, you will hear it. No matter what you're doing, down a hill, up a hill, level surface, cruising anywhere from over 40 to however fast you're going to hear this exhaust. You will have to turn the music up. You cannot hear at least these tires over it. I have the Mickey Thompson Baja ATZ P3s, and they're not loud, so that's nice, but you cannot hear these tires over that exhaust at all, which these are not loud tires. Like I said, they're maybe a tiny bit louder than factory tires. I do hear mud grapplers and a lot of other tires whenever they pass me or whatever, but this exhaust is extremely loud on the road while you're just driving down the road. It does not stop. Using the Bluetooth when you're driving, talking on the phone, it's up all the way all the time because that's the only way I can hear the person I'm talking to. I have to talk loudly so I know that they can hear me. Otherwise, all I get back in response is what. So that is annoying. If you do have to make a phone call to one of the automated lines, you're pretty much SOL when it comes to using the voice commands, because a lot of times over the noise of the exhaust, they can't hear it. So that is something to keep in mind. If you want something that sounds good, is cheap, sounds great at idle, and just driving around town, this exhaust is it. I mean, it's cheap, easy, install, not bad. But it's just constant noise on the highway. No drone. I don't know if you've ever been in a car with drone, but drone makes you want to split your head open after about 10 minutes. There's none of that from this exhaust. It's just constant noise. It's constant. Yeah, that's an exhaust. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're considering this exhaust. I'm going to go ahead, grab my keys, and I'll do a startup and a rev for you guys. But before I do that, I'll go ahead and do a little outro. Thank you guys, everybody, for all the support and everything that you guys have given me. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I'll have more of that coming, hopefully. I'm past 330 subscribers now, so thank you guys for that. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the exhaust note on this. Thank you guys. Alright, for the startup, I'm going to do it so that you're at my head level. I do have a GoPro with a microphone and an adapter, so the audio quality is a lot better than the normal GoPro audio quality. So you'll be able to kind of hear what it sounds like. Normal person, I'm not putting you right up against the exhaust. Just standing up here right by the front mirror so you guys can see it. I'll go ahead and give the truck a start. Now this is me talking at the same level I was talking before. I have no clue if you can hear me or not, but just so you know, this is what it's like on the passenger side of the vehicle. It's constant and it's loud. I'm going to head up front. This gets me out of the direct line of fire from the exhaust. So now I'm over here on the driver's side. Still present, still there. You can hear it. It is not as bad. The passenger side is a lot worse. I'm going to go inside of the truck. I'm going to do a rev, close the door, let you guys hear it, and then I will take you back out of the truck and set you down and do a rev while you guys are out there so you can hear it. So you guys can see it's still a cold start. It's starting to come back down now, but it's sitting a little over 1,000 RPM, so cruising at about 55. This is what it would be like. It's not terrible in here, but as soon as you step on the gas, it starts to wake back up. So I'll go ahead, I'll be quiet and do a couple little reps for you. Just so you know, that was with all of the windows up. I'm gonna go ahead and crack the back passenger window, the rear window, and the passenger window up front. Do one more quick rev for you guys. All right, I'm gonna take you outside, set you guys down, and let you hear it from outside.